Welcome to today's deep dive. If you were to gather up every single human being on Earth, and put us on one side of a massive scale, and then put every single ant on the planet on the other side, well, we would actually weigh about the same.
Right, which is just a completely staggering thought. Billions upon billions of tiny bugs.
Yeah, exactly. And every single one of those ants is part of this highly organized, completely female-led empire happening right under the sidewalk you stroll down every day.
It really changes how you look at the ground, doesn't it? I mean, it is not just dirt and grass down there. It is a massive hidden world.
It really is. So our mission today is twofold. First, we are looking at a fascinating short text called The Super Ant Family, and we want to discover some amazing facts about how ants live.
And our second mission is for you, the listener. We know that many of you use these deep dives to practice your English.
Yes, so we are going to speak very slowly today. We'll speak clearly, and we will repeat key words so you can easily learn them as we go.
Exactly. We want you to practice your English while we explore a really fun topic, so we will not rush.
Right. So let's jump into the text. The hook of this whole text is that ants might be very tiny bugs, but they live in massive families where the girls are the bosses.
Yeah, it is a female-led world down there. But before we get to who is in charge, we need to understand how creatures so incredibly small can even survive in a big, scary world.
Which brings us to our very first key word to learn today. The text says, quote, "Ants are very small, but they are very strong."
Strong, that is S-T-R-O-N-G, strong.
Right, strong. Now, we all know ants can, carry a little crumb at a picnic. But when we say strong here, what does that actually mean?
Well, we are talking about physical power that is just way beyond human limits. Because of their hard bodies, an ant can comfortably lift something that is 10, 20, or even 50 times its own body weight.
Wow, 50 times. I always try to translate that into human terms, to really understand it.
Yeah, it helps paint a picture.
Right, so imagine if you were strong enough to carry something as heavy as a car on your back. I mean, if I had the strength of an ant, I wouldn't just lift weights. I'd pick up a car and just walk down the street.
And you would be carrying that car with your jaw, by the way.
Oh, wow. Yeah, good point. That is an unbelievable level of being strong. But here is my question. Is being strong really enough to stay alive?
What do you mean by that?
Well, if I am strong enough to lift a car, but I'm all alone in a forest and a bear finds me, my strength doesn't matter much. I'm still in massive danger. An ant is strong, but a bird is bigger.
Right, a shoe is bigger too.
Exactly. So being strong cannot be their only trick, right?
That is a great point, and it leads right into our second key word from the text. The text says, quote, "They do not live alone. They do everything together."
Together. That is our second word. Together.
Yes, together. Doing things as a team is their ultimate survival power. The strength of one ant is cool, but they never, ever operate alone.
So in this text, the word together isn't just a nice, cute idea about friendship. It is how they survive.
Exactly. One ant all by itself is very fragile. It can get eaten or it can freeze. But when you put thousands of these strong ants together, they act like one giant animal.
Oh, I love that. Like a superorganism. Like one skin cell on my arm can't survive alone, but millions of them together make a human body.
That is the perfect way to explain it. When it floods, they link their bodies together to make a living boat. When they need to cross a big gap, they hold hands and build a bridge out of their own bodies.
Wow. So they're very strong, and they do everything together. Now, because they do everything together, they need a really big house.
They absolutely do. A massive family needs massive space. And the text introduces this with our third key word. It says they live together in a big family called a colony.
Colony. Let's repeat that for our listeners. Colony.
C-O-L-N-Y. A colony is just a very big family of ants living together.
Now, here is the part of the text about the colony that really made me stop and read it again. The text says, quote, "In this colony, the girls are the bosses."
Yep, the girls run the show.
I just have to ask about this. I always thought a colony was just a random pile of bugs. Are you telling me the boy ants, the males, aren't in charge of anything?
They are not in charge of anything at all. It is a completely female-led society.
Yeah.
In fact, for most of the year, the boy ants do not even live in the colony.
Wait, really? They don't even live there?
Nope. Boy ants are only born at very specific times, strictly to help make babies. That is it. They do not find food, they do not clean, they do not build the colony.
That is wild. So the entire underground city is built and run 100% by female ants.
100%, yes.
Okay, so if the females are the bosses of this massive colony, we need to meet the main boss. And the text gives us our fourth key word here. It says, the queen is the mother.
The queen. Q-U-E-N. The queen.
Right. And it says her important job is to lay many, many eggs. Now, when I hear the word queen, I picture, a human queen with a crown on her head shouting orders at everyone.
Yeah, human words can be tricky when we talk about bugs. She is not a political boss at all.
So she isn't telling this group of ants to go get a sandwich and telling that group to go dig a hole.
Not at all. Her only job, her super important job, is being the mother. She is just laying eggs. But it is hard to explain just how much work that is. She is making the entire family.
I try to compare her to a human mother. A human mom is very busy taking care of 1 or 2 babies at a time. But imagine if a human mom had thousands of babies on the same day.
It would be impossible. And queen ants can lay millions of eggs in their lifetime.
Millions. That is crazy.
Yeah, so because she is laying so many eggs, she cannot do anything else. She cannot find her own food. She cannot clean herself. She is completely stuck in her room.
I see. So she is vital, she creates the family, but she needs a ton of help.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our fifth and final key word.
The other girls in the colony. The workers. W-O-R-K-E-R-S. Workers.
The workers. The text says these workers are very busy every single day.
Yeah.
If the queen is making the family, the workers are doing literally everything else to keep the family alive.
Exactly. The workers are all girls, and since they are not laying eggs, they have all the energy to do the chores, and they have a brilliant system for sharing the work.
Let's talk about those chores, because the text gives some really fun details about what these worker ants do all day. It says, some workers find food, some workers clean the house.
Right, cleaning the house.
Yeah, let's stop there. How do you clean a house that is made entirely of dirt? That sounds, well, kind of impossible.
It sounds funny, but keeping the dirt clean is life or death for ants. Think about it. It is dark, it is warm, and you have thousands of bugs packed together. If they aren't clean, they will all get sick and die.
Wow, so they are really serious about cleaning.
Very serious. They have special rooms just for trash. The workers carry dead bugs, old food, and waste into these trash rooms to keep the main house safe and healthy.
That is amazing. It's a highly organized city. Now, the text also says other workers are babysitters. They look after the tiny baby ants.
Which is a huge job. When a baby ant is born, it cannot do anything. It is just a tiny, hungry little mouth.
Like a human baby.
Yeah, exactly. So the worker ants have to constantly feed them, but they also have to move them around the colony to keep them warm.
Wait, they move them around?
Yes. If the room gets too cold, the babysitters pick up the babies and carry them deeper into the ground where it is warmer. It is a 24-hour job.
A 24-hour babysitting job? No, thank you. Okay, so the population is growing. There are more and more babies. The text says, as the family grows, workers dig in the ground to build more rooms.
They are the builders.
Yes, and here is my absolute favorite part of the whole text. It says, they even make small bedrooms to take a rest.
Bedrooms to take a rest. It is so cute, but it is also incredible science.
It really is. I mean, I want to ask you, the listener, right now, think about this. If you were an ant, what job would you want to have?
Oh, that is a good question.
Yeah. Would you want to be the brave worker going outside to find food? Or the cleaner dragging trash into the dark room? Or the babysitter feeding thousands of babies?
None of those sound easy.
No, I don't. Personally, I think building the bedrooms to take a rest sounds like the best job. Mostly because I would want to test the beds out and take a nap.
I think everybody would want that job.
Yeah.
But it is true. Worker ants don't sleep for 8 hours like we do. They take hundreds of tiny 1-minute naps all day long.
So they literally build quiet little rooms, like a break room at an office, where an ant can go in, take a 1-minute nap, and then go back to work.
Exactly. It keeps the whole colony running smoothly. And that brings us to the final thought in the text. It says, helping each other keeps them happy and safe.
Which goes right back to our key words. Working together is how they survive.
Yes.
So let's summarize today's deep dive slowly. Make sure you got all 5 of our key words. Practicing these words will make your English strong too.
Yeah, it is right. Okay, let's review. Ants might be small, but they are very strong.
But strength isn't enough, so they never live alone. They do everything together.
And because they live together, they build a massive family called a colony.
At the center of the colony is the mother, the queen, who lays thousands of eggs.
And finally, the other female ants are the workers who do all the chores like cleaning, babysitting, and building the bedrooms.
It really is an incredible society. Helping each other and working as a team is the absolute best way to stay safe, even for humans.
Definitely.
Now, before we go, I want to leave you the listener, with one final mystery to think about today? Something to just turn over in your mind?
There is always a deeper mystery with ants.
Think about all this amazing work. These worker ants are babysitting, they are taking out the trash, they are building new rooms with perfect temperatures.
It is extremely complicated work.
It is. But they are doing all of this deep underground, in total darkness. They cannot see a thing. And, even crazier, they do not have voices. They never make a sound.
Completely blind and completely silent.
Yes. So my question for you is, if they cannot see each other, and they cannot shout orders or talk to each other, how exactly are they organizing this massive city? How do they communicate without ever speaking a word?
That is the big mystery, isn't it?
It really is. So next time you are walking outside and you see a tiny bug on the sidewalk, don't just ignore it. Think about the silent magic happening right under your feet. Keep practicing your English, keep asking questions, and we will see you on the next deep dive.